What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks. And we back in the building, you feel me? It's True Talks. Cause True Talks, alright? Let's get straight right into it. Man, oh man, yo. So I've been getting a lot of DMs and messages and a lot of flack or whatever for whatever I think about what I thought about Melo in my last video. So we're definitely gonna talk about Melo again because that's been what's been trending throughout this whole week on Melo, whether he deserves a farewell tour or whether he deserves this or deserves that, or does he deserve to be in the league, etc., etc. So I'm just gonna say straight out the gate, man, Melo does not deserve no damn farewell tour, man. He doesn't. Why? Because he deserves to be in the league for a couple of seasons at least. At least a couple of seasons. Come on now. About a farewell tour. He's not done. He's not done. He's not done. This isn't only one last season. Come on now. This man could average easily. Could average 15 to 20 on a winning team. On a winning team. It doesn't have to be a bum team. Whatever. It could be on a winning team. He could average a good 15 to 20. Third, fourth, whatever option you want to put him. He could average that. If the offense actually makes sense for what he does. If you actually go back and go watch him in OKC and go watch Houston Clips, his catching and shooting and go watch what he was doing, it's different at the rhythm when you become the first option as to becoming this type of option that he was in OKC and Houston, and he's playing with players that just will give you only a catch and shoot shot. It's not like they let you have rhythm, let you have it sometimes, and etc., etc. It was just catch and shoot. You know what I'm saying? If you go watch OKC, go watch the clips, go watch clips in Houston, and people are like, oh, his efficiency rating went down. Because they say Melo's inefficient, but he's averaged 45% for his whole career, which is efficient. It's not high efficiency, which is 50% and above, which normally is rare, especially for someone who shoots perimeter shots a lot. That's why KD is such a different breed, because LeBron, he averages 50 plus for his career, like 50, 51 around there, but that's a majority is twos. Just like big men. That's why big men always average high percentages. Always, right? LeBron is basically a big man playing in a small for his body with handles. But at the end of the day, he doesn't take that many perimeter shots. So his efficiency rating is out of context for what a scorer's efficiency is. A field goal percentage is always going to be around. Is 45% for a score is actually good. It's solid. It's good. Anything from like 40, I'll say 47, 48 to like 50 and above is considered elite when it comes to scoring. That's why KD is such a different breed. It's considered elite, especially when you shoot a majority of perimeter shots. You don't shoot that high as a scorer. You shoot if you shoot between 45 and 47, actually 44 and 47, that's considered solid and considered good. Like James Harden's last season was around what? Like 44 or something like that. So that's considered a solid efficiency. Anything from above that, between the 47 to 50 as a scorer, because scorers take a lot of perimeter shots, it's like, geez, god damn, that's a different tier. That's elite. Anything from like 42 to 45 in between that, or let's say 41 to 44, that's where it's like, oh, he was struggling offensively, he wasn't efficient, those type of numbers, right? So that's kind of how the tiers go when it comes to scoring and efficiency. Anything between 44 to 47 is considered solid efficient. That's a solid. They're not going to be considered a goddamn efficient, but it's like, you know what? He was putting in work and he was hot and he was carrying and it was solid numbers. You know what I'm saying? So to say that Melo is at 45, the way people talk about Melo, you would think he's been shooting like 40% from the field, etc., etc. He's actually been shooting for his career 45. Now, the last 2 years has been at 40. Why? What are those 2 years? The only 2 years that has changed. He's playing with the most ball dominant type of players. He played with Westbrook and played with Harden, where you only get it in situations. So obviously his numbers are going to drop down when he's uncomfortable in those situations. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my problem is when it comes to this Melo thing. See, a lot of people don't apply context for Melo like how they apply for LeBron. And people are like, why are you bringing LeBron into this? I bring LeBron into this because, again, it's not about LeBron. It's about the media. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, one, automatically he's brought into this because they're the two superstars that are left out of that 2003 draft class. You know what I'm saying? They're the two superstars that are left. Obviously, Melo's not playing, but the two superstars that haven't retired, right? So Melo hasn't had a team yet, but he's still left. He's still there. Okay? So my problem is, it's not LeBron the person, it's LeBron the fans and LeBron the media, LeBron sexuals, the LeBron apologists, what they call them, just like KD said, the LeBron apologists, right? Those players are those people always find a way to give context to LeBron, but no context to LeBron. Give an excuse for LeBron, but no excuse for Melo or other players. Just in general, that's what they always do. When LeBron does something that they've been said, oh, they don't like this, they don't like that. There's X, Y, Z. If it's somebody else, they're trash for this, they're trash for that, they're trash for this, they're trash. They don't apply the same context and the same excuses and the same things that they give LeBron. They don't give it to everybody else. And that's been my problem with media and my problem with the LeBron fans and the LeBron apologists, is that they cater to these certain things that help LeBron's favor, but then don't apply it in certain things that are negatives for LeBron and positives for someone else. At the end of the day, if you're just a fan of the game and you're true to the game, the skill set, the context of the game, the truth lies within it. When you have to fabricate certain things to apply to this and to that, that's when now it goes LeBron's way. And that's what these fans and these people normally always do. And that's where I'm a problem with, because, it's true talks. So that's why I bring up LeBron. So let's go back into it, because the knock against Melo is he's never been to the finals. He's never won a ring. What's he been doing? He was settling all this whole time for this and that and that. Okay. Now, let me flip the roles. This is why my point is I'm just going to flip the situation for the LeBron fans, just to show you that it's unfair, the narrative they're creating against Melo and what they're creating for LeBron. This is what I'm saying. So, for instance, Melo, first year in the league, Melo makes playoffs. Oh, it's just the first year though. That don't really matter. Okay, but when LeBron doesn't make playoffs his first year, he's a baby, he's young, he just came in the league, the team is trash. You see that? That's one narrative. Okay, whatever. That's early in their careers. That don't even matter. Okay, so now as you go on, right? Melo was in Denver. You get what I'm saying? And when Melo was in Denver, he never had a solid team around him. Okay, until when he got that one solid team, not a great team, but a solid team, like LeBron had in Cleveland. He went to the conference finals and he lost in the conference finals because Kobe ran into him and ended up winning the chip. But then when LeBron runs into Orlando conference finals and he loses, that's the same year I'm talking about, right? That's the same year I'm talking about. And he loses to Orlando. It's LeBron, who did he have around him? Even though he had Mo Williams as an all-star, even though he had all these other players, LeBron, who he has a bums around him, he has to leave. They don't have that narrative for Carmelo. He finally had a team around him, but he ran into Kobe. But it's, oh, Melo didn't do this, Melo didn't do that. Melo never wins. Melo's never had a solid team. Melo's only had 2 solid teams around him. 2 solid teams. That one I mentioned in Denver, and then also the one with an older Jason Kidd and J.R. Smith and all of them when they went to the second round. That's 2 solid teams that he's had around him, and he went second round and conference finals. Obviously, he actually overachieved with that team because that team wasn't nice. His second best player was J.R. Smith. The same guy that they say, oh, when LeBron has J.R. Smith, he's a scrub. He took 4 cadavers to the finals. What are they doing? J.R. Smith is a scrub. But J.R. Smith was Melo's second best player. But what do they say? Carmelo sussed the runs. What are you like? It doesn't make sense. This is what my point is. You can't have the same context and apply it to LeBron, but don't apply it to Melo. It doesn't make no sense, man. Melo has never had teammates like that. But when LeBron has a big 3, even when he has a big 3, Caleb is not that elite. They still give excuses. But this man has never had a big 3 ever. Even's been struggling just to get 1 All-Star. But Melo doesn't do this. He doesn't win. He doesn't do that. Are you guys serious? Right now, LeBron's team with the Lakers has been a better team than the majority of Melo's teams. And yet LeBron didn't make the playoffs in the West. But, he didn't have help. He didn't have this. When he had 2 mans averaging 18. Kuzma and Ingram. Are you guys serious? Melo has never had 2 mans averaging 18 while he averages 25 plus. That's never happened in his career. Go check the numbers. Are you guys serious right now? That's what I'm saying. They don't apply the same things to this guy. They don't. And it's getting out of hand, man. It's disrespectful. It's actually getting out of hand. People need to wake up and smell the damn coffee and see the truth, man. How can y'all actually sit there and say this man can't play off ball when he's been playing off ball? He's never played. And the thing is, and people bring up the same thing they do with the Kobe's and the other players. When they bring up LeBron's stats and his 27 points per game as a career, it's great. But you have to apply context. The context is LeBron has never played off the ball in his whole career. He's always played on ball. Always. You've seen what numbers Harden and Westbrook has done when they played on ball. This is the context. All small forwards, all scorers have always played in a system. They've never been the system. Melo played in a system. He's never been the system. I bring it up. I do everything. He's never done that. LeBron has been fortunate enough, and because that's the only way he's going to thrive, and he has never played with an elite coach because he can cater that situation, make that situation where I'm only going to bring up the ball. It's me. You know what I'm saying? Which is the best thing for his skill set. He can't play off ball. He can't do these other things. So it does make sense for him to do that, obviously. But the fans don't see these things. They don't, and the media, they don't see these things. They just name out stats. Why you think it's hard for men? That's why KD's a different because he's still average 27, playing off ball, on ball, off. It doesn't matter. But that's why you see the Kobe's, you see all these other guys, they never average 27, 28 for their career. Because they play in an offense, which means you sacrifice. Some days you get it, some days you don't. Some seasons your numbers are weak. You know what I mean? It's different. That's how it goes when you're a small forward shooting guard. You don't bring up the ball. You're the scorer. You play within the offense. You get what I'm saying? If you have a skill set. But when you don't have a skill set like that, you have to be one way. And that's what LeBron's been his whole career. So those stats are out of context. Again, at the end of the day, what I've been saying is that Melo, yes, there's certain times where he doesn't play defense. Same with LeBron. LeBron doesn't play defense. Oh, he's saving himself for the playoffs. Oh, this and that. Like, it just makes no sense how what LeBron does is fine. There's nothing wrong with what LeBron does. It's just now when someone else does that, why is it a knock for them, but it's a plus for LeBron? You get what I'm saying? That's where stuff is out of context. That's where the narratives are created that are unfair, and it makes no sense. If you really know basketball, you know Melo deserves to be in this roster spot right now. He could literally be a starter right now. You can't tell me the Aminus and all these other guys can start over this guy. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys actually talking about? Ferguson, no, I can name bare mans who have a starting role. And you're about telling me Melo, come off the bench? Y'all are tripping, man. That's what I'm like. At the end of the day, like, that's even a different discussion. At the end of the day, the whole point of me is exposing media, exposing how they think, exposing how they are biased towards LeBron, and they create these narratives because, again, they're in the same draft class. So they create these narratives that go negatively against Melo and are positive for Melo, are positive for LeBron. You know what I'm saying? This man in his career in the East was on the Knicks. He's never had solid team. Never. Only one. Old ass Jason Kidd when he retired basically the year after. J.R. Smith, who was averaging 18, the second best player, but he even came off the bench. He didn't even start. Shumpert was starting. You know what I'm saying? Shumpert, Chris Copeland, and then who did they have? And Melo was playing the 4, and then they had Tyson Chandler. J.R. Smith came off the bench. LeBron had J.R. Smith starting, and still, he needs more help. But now J.R. Smith is coming off the bench as his second best player, but Melo doesn't need more help. You get what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying right there? But a lot of people don't see these things. They don't see these things. You know what I'm saying? They don't see these things. So if I was like, if I'm to name you Melo's roster that he's been playing with, LeBron has been playing with more throughout his whole career, and still they say he has less. He doesn't have enough. That's crazy, y'all. That's tripping. Y'all are tripping. Now people are like, he could have joined Miami in 2011. So in 2010, LeBron obviously joined Miami with Wade and Bosh. You know what I'm saying? 2011. This is just off. You can fact check me after or whatever the case is, but this is just off the dome. It's off the dome, but my IQ is too high, so I'm pretty sure I'm right. But if I'm not, just off the dome, I'm close enough. But in 2011, I know Melo got traded, right? So he got traded, and when he got traded, that's the same time he did a 3-year extension with the Knicks because he wanted to get traded to the Knicks, right? So that's now during the 3 years of the LeBron Miami era, whatever, right? And the Big 3 era in Miami. And they're saying, he could have joined them. Listen, at that time, there's no IQ context, please. That's what I do. True talks. He got traded to New York. When he got traded to New York, remember, Mario was eating when he was in there with Felton. So he's looking at it as, okay, I have a Big 3. They got Billups with him in the trade. Chauncey, me, and Amari, that's a Big 3. Why am I going to go join Miami? You know what I mean? Certain guys have pride again. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you guys knock KD for joining teams, but then knock Melo for joining? That make no sense. That's what I'm saying. You can't have your cake and eat it too. He's thinking, I'm in my prime. I'm going to beat Miami. That's what I'm going to do. So you're going to knock him for that? But then don't praise KD for joining. Go like, y'all need stop with these narratives. Everything is hate for everybody else except LeBron. I'm tired of it, yo. I'm tired of it. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. So in that situation, he's thinking it's the Big 3. It's the Big 3. I'm a carry. You didn't know Amari was gonna get injured, and Chauncey was digressing more because he was older in his career. You know what I'm saying? At that point, and he had injuries too. So obviously, at that point, 3 years happened. 2014. That's when LeBron went to Cleveland. Now, Melo could have went to the Bulls in that situation, but that's when Phil Jackson came on board, was saying, we're going to make you the new Kobe. We're going to run the triangle. We could get their centers like Greg Monroe was available. There's all kinds of people that they were promised to get. Remember, they were promising, or Marc Gasol was going to be a free agent. We're going to get another big man. So it's going to be you, a big man, and it's going to be a dynamic duo triangle situation. You're going to be our Kobe. When you tell somebody that who's a purist at basketball, their mindset, they know Jordan was elite with Phil Jackson. Kobe was elite with Phil Jackson in the same triangle. I'm the next evolution. I'm going to be in the triangle. I'm the next guy. So that's why he stayed and he believed in Phil. And people are going to say that, oh, he chose the money. He chose the money. He didn't choose the money. The money came with it. Obviously, the money is blessed. But when you have Phil Jackson come on board and saying we're changing the direction of this team, you're going to be this and this and this, and they're preaching this to you, your ego, your pride inside, you want to win. This is the way you've been dreaming to win. I'm the next Kobe in the triangle. I'm going to prove. And people just associate that with always choosing the money. Just because it wasn't announced, I know what it was. I've seen the things that happened. I've seen how Phil Jackson had press conferences saying that they're going to run the triangle, they're going to do this. They brought Jeff Hornacek as the coach, etc., etc. All these things were laying out. That's why they got mad. That's why Knicks fans were mad when they picked up Porzingis. People need to go back into the context of the times and just stop looking at this in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? That's what my problem is. And they don't apply context for Melo. They apply context for LeBron. Oh, LeBron left Cleveland. He had nobody. He needed to join Miami. He had nobody. He needed to join Cleveland. He had nobody. He needed to join the Lakers. But they don't apply the same context to Melo. Oh, he's just went for the money. Like, are you serious? It's crazy. It's crazy. That's the timeline of Melo. He obviously, now when you look at it, you can just say he should have went to the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? But in that time, the context, the same thing with Lillard. If you look at it later down the line, Lillard should have just went here and should have went here. Some guys aren't cut from that cloth. When you think I'm this elite, I'm the reason we win. I'm the reason we win. I'm going to carry. Obviously, you still defer within your carrying, but you have guys like CJ McCollum. You have guys like that. But they don't say Lillard just went for the money. They don't say CJ just went for the money. No, we believe we're going to win. We believe we want to beat underdogs. We're going to win this way. I'm not going to chase rings. I'm going to win this way. And I commend people for that because you're taking the challenge. You can't knock the challenge, or you can't knock KD for joining, but then knock Portland for doing what mans want by taking the challenge and then knock him. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you praise Bron and you say Melo should have did this and did this, then praise KD too. Praise KD too. You guys talk about Melo's never had a big three. Like what? Like that's people just push LeBron over Melo like that, and in those type of situations, and don't give the same context to Melo. It makes no sense because people just talking about the career, bashing his career, bashing he's a ball stopper. He's this. Every nigga that scores stops the ball, but when it stops, it goes in the net. That's what happens. What y'all talking about, man? It's actually crazy, yo. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to this, Melo, guaranteed. You already know he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Obviously, if you look at it and you just say he hasn't have a ring with this skill set, underachieved. Yes, I agree with that. It is underachieved because for me, I rate Melo on a high standard that I critique. When I critique guys, like I told you guys, I don't critique you to the base of the field. The rest of the people, the bums or the guys who are just, obviously everyone in the league is great to be in the league, but then there's bums of the league. There's different levels of the league. I'm not rating him and scaling him according to the bums or according to the average Joes or according to the guys who are solid. I'm not doing that. That's what LeBron fans do. If you are this purist and you're that elite, I rate you to the elite. So I compare him to the Kobe echelons and those type of echelons, right? Melo, he plays defense here and there. There's times where he actually locks up. There's times where he does those swap blocks on the way up and all those type of stuff and strips and all of that. But at the end of the day, his intangibles, he should have worked more harder. You know what I'm saying? That's my knock for Melo. I'm seeing Kobe. When you want to win so bad, you dive on the floor. You do this. All the intangible things you do. Melo sometimes doesn't do that. The scoring is never a problem, but the intangibles, sometimes it's here and there. It's hit or miss sometimes. That's my knock against him for the different echelons. But that's different than what everybody else is saying. What everybody else is saying about his career is washed. He underachieved in this and this and this. He would have overachieved if he won a ring. He had nobody. Are you guys serious? Only 2 teams. That's why he's never been. That's why he's always out of the mix a lot of the times. He's never had a solid guaranteed superstar with him, ever. He's had an all-star. He's never had a big 3. Like, what are we talking? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, man's are comparing things and like, it doesn't make no sense. He's just have been under everything he wanted and he tried to get, he's never gotten. So that's just, it's unfortunate. But to disrespect the man like this, and then not even a roster spot, y'all are crazy, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, my IQ is just I see the game how it is. I see the context how it is. I don't only remember the times. I remember the context around the times. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people don't do. So, again, like I've been said, Melo obviously had a great career. Should have had a greater career because, again, it's unfortunate he's never been able to play with a superstar and have a dynamic duo like that. And every time I believe someone was coming, it just never worked that way. It just never worked that way. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just unfortunate. But at the end of the day, it's like, I apply context to everybody. I apply context. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when people say Melo don't play defense, all of this type of stuff, like, it's out of hand. It's out of hand, man. It's out of hand. It's out of hand. I just apply context at the end of the day. So, you get what I'm saying? So, the video's kind of getting long. I went on a rant. That's my fault, y'all. Listen, I've always thought Melo's on a high echelon. Like I told y'all, he didn't break into that higher echelon that I expected him to break into. But there's reasons for that. But still, it's on him to. I don't see him like Kobe. You see how Kobe, when he had Smush Parker in them, how he carried him to the utmost last bit. That's the will I was expecting Melo to have. He didn't have that type of will. He still has will. Don't get it twisted. But he didn't have that type of will. Like, for instance, when he was facing Indiana, if y'all remember that series where he lost in game 6, he almost dropped 50 that game. He had will. But then there's little things he could have dove, he could have stripped, he could have, you know what I mean, block an extra shot. Those type of things to give you that extra will. That's what he wouldn't do. And that's what I expect him to do if you're on this echelon. So I'm just real, you know what I'm saying? And that's my only knock against Melo, like I've been said. Anyways, it's true talks, because true talks. Melo does not deserve no damn farewell tour. I'm even stuttering. Doesn't deserve no damn farewell tour. He needs a couple of seasons. He can have a good 2 solid seasons and can maybe win a ring if you put him in the right situation. It's there, man. Y'all can't be serious, yo. Y'all can't be serious. Y'all can't be serious. Jamal Crawford's never played elite defense and he's been playing till how old? Are you serious? Obviously, they saying Melo could do that if he just wants to come off the bench. Like, but at the end of the day, no, not yet. Crawford has never been at the level that Melo has been at, even though Crawford is elite. But he's never been at that elite like Melo. So y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. Put respect on his name, man. Put respect on his name. It's true talks. Because true talks, man. Share, like, and subscribe. You already know. I got more videos coming like always. Breakdowns are coming soon. Pay attention, man. Put on that notification bell too. You already know. Because when I'm here, I'm here. You feel me? And we out.